Welcome to Form Friday. Video for today is going to cover how we count when we do the strength part of the SAIL class. There's counting involved in other parts of the class too, but as a consistent count that we use during our strength exercises. So in other words, those arm and leg exercises that we use the weights is the one that we typically see a count that is similar across our SAIL classes. I wanted to start out by giving just a little bit of a background on why we have this count, because there is no set count given to us by the SAIL program as they developed it. So there's no, you have to do it this way. There are things we do have to do. Of course, we know that as the SAIL class with its evidence-based program and its fidelity, there are certain exercises that need to be done in the program, but as far as how we count, there is not a rule. So if you're looking for a rule for counting, there isn't one. Background though, many of our current SAIL classes transitioned from what was known as Bone Builders, which is another exercise program that's geared specifically to older adults. Great program, a lot of the same exercises for those of you that came to us from a Bone Builders transitioned into SAIL. Specifically when we talk about those leg and arm exercises. In Bone Builders, we did a very slow count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hold. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, that was our count. So when we looked at a program that was evidence-based, Bone Builders did not have the distinction of being an evidence-based program. We wanted to make it easy for those that were currently a Bone Builder class transitioning to a SAIL class. So we modeled our count similar to what groups were already using as Bone Builders. So that's why when we began teaching the SAIL class, so those of you that are watching that were Bone Builder leaders and transitioned into SAIL leaders, we came and taught the count 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. And on our the sheet that you would have gotten, it does have that count up at the top. And again, I want to emphasize the reason was because we thought that was the simplest way to transition from one count and a new program and another count. So again, I'm going to grab some arm weights just to demonstrate that count then with our bicep curl. So for those of you that had Mariah in specifically, because she did a lot of our training with our SAIL classes. 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. So why do we do a slower count? The studies show, and when we do go back, and again, this is an evidence-based program, it's the slow, sustained weight-bearing exercises that are shown to have the greatest impact for our bodies as we age. So if you contrast that with just 1, 2, 3, 4, a quick count where we're trying to get a lot of repetitions in a set, you're not getting that sustained use of those muscles or parts of our body that a slow count offers. So again, I'm going to contrast back to our other count. 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. You'll notice I'm trying to use a slow, even pace. So as I'm lifting, I'm going slowly. I do the hold and then I'm slow back down. That is where the most benefit for these strength exercises happens. If you are a SAIL leader watching this, that is the thing I most want you to emphasize with your class is take the entire time that you're talking and counting to do the motion for each of those strength exercises. That's why we have so many counts in there. Now, when we went to doing our classes live, and we were recording these, and I'll say we, meaning me specifically, because now I'm leading a class, I've got nobody else in front of me, and I'm having to do all of that talking and counting myself, rather than have the class to help and count. It's a lot of talking to do for 1 hour, so I modified what I say. I didn't modify the rhythm or how slow or fast I did those. So rather than say 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6, I said up, 1, hold, down, 1, rest, up, 1, 2, hold, down, 2, rest, 1, 3, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6, I'm alternating, 4, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6, up, 5, hold, down, 5, rest, up, 6, hold, down, 6, rest. I alternated back and forth between those counts so that you can see my timing. How I'm doing the exercise is exactly the same. I'm just having to say less, so it's a little easier of a count. Again, emphasizing there's no right or wrong here. If your group counts 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6, you're fine. If there are groups that, since when I've trained, I've given them the option to say up, 1, hold, down, 1, rest. Okay? And sometimes that even gets shortened. Up, hold, down, rest. So you can say the number, but as you're going, as long as you're a confident counter or you've got somebody else counting for you, you can see how we can alter a little bit what we're saying. But what we want to do is make sure that our rhythm and the action. So to put that in musical terms, I'm going to put on a couple of options here. I know many of you don't use music during strength, but some of you do. And here's where some of that can be helpful. The first music I'm going to play for you is at 110 beats per minute. Very often when you go out there to look for music, if you're doing that online, especially when it's done for exercise music or workout music, if you look specifically for that, you're going to have a beats per minute written after it. It's often just says BPM in parentheses, beats per minute. So very often when I was leading class, if you go back and watch some of our recorded ones on Facebook, or even the one that you might watch here on the YouTube channel, you will hear I use 110 beats per minute. So that's what this sounds like. That's 110 beats per minute. So that equates to 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. Up, 1, hold, down, 1, rest. Up, 2, hold, down, 2, rest. I'm going to just throw in a leg exercise so you can see how it transfers even into anything else that we're doing. So a leg lift. Up, 1, hold, down, 1, rest. Up, 2, hold, down, 2, rest. 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. 4, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. Part of the reasoning for playing the music and knowing that beats per minute in the background is it keeps everything consistent. It means that when I'm doing an arm curl, I'm doing arm raises to the side, I'm doing a leg lift, I'm using about the same count or beats per minute for each of those exercises. That is a little bit of a fast count, just so you know. So I'm gonna give an alternate. So now I'm gonna play for you music that's at 100 beats per minute. Not a huge difference, but you're gonna hear a slight difference. This is 100 beats per minute. So it equates to this. 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. Up 1, hold, down 1, rest. Up 2, hold, down 2, rest. Up 3, hold, down 3, rest. Up 4, hold, down 4. 1, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. So again, that shows you some options if you're wanting to kind of check where you're at with your counting to make sure that you're on track. Again, I really want to say there's not a rule. If you're doing one count or the other count, one's not wrong and one is not right. You need to do what is easiest for you as a leader and what's easiest for your class to follow. Why do we ask the class to count with us? Again, it makes them sure that they're breathing. If they have to speak, they have to make sure they're breathing. And we know that too often when people are doing specifically weight-bearing exercises, they aren't counting and they're holding their breath, which is counteractive to what we want to do with the muscles as we're using those. So that's part of why we say, hey, everybody help me count. As a leader, you know, the other advantage there is you end up talking and you might have to stop counting because you might be talking about the proper way. All right, everybody, let's make sure that as we're doing this arm curl, we're keeping our elbows tucked in and our shoulders down. If you have to say those things, it doesn't necessarily allow you to count unless you can talk and do two different things at once with your voice. But having the class count, or even for those of you that have another leader who's with you doing the count while you can talk about proper form, that always is ideal to be able to do that. Again, another thing I want to emphasize is your motion should take the entire time of that count. Never do we want groups saying 1, 2, and just counting quickly, because then they're not doing that slow, sustained movement. So one more exercise to emphasize those counts. Up 1, hold. Down 1, rest. 2, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. Up 3, hold, down 3, rest. 4, 2, 3, hold, 4, 5, 6. 5, hold, and back down. 6, hold, and back down. So again, you can see there are slight ways to alter what you're saying. It just really depends on what your group wants to follow and what's easiest for them. I hope that this has been helpful. I know there are always questions about this count, and keep in mind that that whole counting and that rhythmic staying together really is something that is for the strength exercises. When we talk about the balance, a warm up and a cool down, we don't keep that same count. And perhaps this will be a good reminder to me for one of our other Form Fridays to talk about counting, and how to smoothly get through those other sections of the SAIL program as well. If you have questions that I have not covered in this video, as always, reach out to your administrator of your SAIL class. You're welcome to contact me as well. We want to make sure that as leaders, we're equipping you to lead class and be comfortable with the way that you're doing that. Thanks, everyone.